Hi, my name is Vsevolod and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to show you an unboxing video of the new Nikon Z 400 f 4.5 lens, and after the unboxing video I will share with you my initial impressions about this lens after 2 sessions of using it in the football game and in the field trying to record some birds. So enjoy watching the unboxing and then my initial impressions, and at the very end I will share some strange things I found about the lens that no other YouTuber review was talking about.
I have opened like hundreds of boxes in my lifetime, but it had a very hidden and unobvious pull tab, and I only noticed it after ripping it apart. So I had to cut through it with my scissors. I was a bit surprised with the amount of foam packaging. It was very thoroughly packed and it could stand a beating. So the box itself has a top compartment with all the paperwork like warranties, and this is the cloth pouch for the lens. It is just for the cosmetics. It gives only protection from scratches. But a nice thing if you want to store your lens somewhere outside of your bag. This is the booklet with a 5-year warranty and another instruction in different European languages. And with removing the cardboard cover from this top compartment, the lens itself. It was packed with this super dense foam, very squishy, so it should have provided very nice protection from any hits and bumps. Another piece of thick foam padding on the bottom of the box, and the lens itself has detached hood with yet another piece of foam inside to protect the hits from the lens to the hood mounting threads, so double protected from the falls and hits on the bottom. And the best thing, that hood has a very thick rubber ring, so you could put it on the soil on the ground attached, and a clicky thing to unlock and lock it on the lens. The lens itself also had a cardboard box around to center it inside the packaging, so it would not decenter and be hit from the sides. Maybe I didn't drink my coffee that morning, but I was quite surprised by the weight. And telling from my experience from other days, I need to confess that in the field it didn't feel heavy, so feel obvious for its weight of 1 kilo, but that morning I didn't understand why it feels so heavy. The foot is removable, very high quality metal thing with 2 screw threaded inserts, 1/4 screws standard to attach the plates. What else? The lens cap is the same as all Nikon lens caps in the Z series. It attaches securely but very easily detached. And of course the rear cap is the same one as always on all the Z mount lenses, and similar to F mount lenses. Yeah, I want to show the front element and you can see my eye. But when the lens is removed, the diaphragm is closed down. There is a rubber gasket, how they say, rubber ring on the mount of the lens, so when it is attached to the camera, it is protected from the moisture and dust. And the hood is attached as typical Nikon hood, but with the spring-loaded clicky button to unlock it. So you won't be able to unlock it without pressing down the button. Yes, I'm showing this thick rubber ring, so that this is how you put the lens on the field, just on the hood. And this is a tele lens, so you basically will be using it with the hood most of the time. The front ring is a grip one, the middle one is a function ring, you can program it, and the closest ring to you is the focus ring. It has only 2 switches, autofocus and close focus limit. The lens itself has a very thin rubber ring for another protection, but it is not intended to be put with in such a way or anywhere. Maybe on the table is okay, but not in the wild. Of course, the hood can be attached in the reverse position for transporting, but I will not be using in that way. I'll be carrying the hood separately because it is very wide and won't fit in the compartment for this lens attached. Here I show how you can wrap it in this cloth bag wrap, which came included, but as I said, it's only for cosmetic purposes to protect it from the dust when you're storing on the shelf, and won't give any another benefit. And here is the size comparison with the Nikon F AFP 70-300, the best 70-300 lens, which has f5.6 aperture on the long end. And as I will show you now, when you are fully zoom out it with the FTZ adapter attached, it has the same lens length as the 400 Nikon Z lens. So interesting how compact is 400.
So what I wanted to add after this unboxing video, having spent with this lens 2 days taking photos, one in the field, football game with kids. It was bright lit day in the middle of the day, so it was very harsh lighting. And the second opportunity I had was taking pictures of birds near the water in more overcast lighting. So I had already some experience with the lens, different experience, and have some primary impressions I want to talk about without going into the optics and imaging stuff, but the very first things that came to me, which I discovered and didn't hear from any other reviews. Although this lens has been released like half a year ago, but these things were not mentioned in those reviews. So, first of all, the not so good things about the lens physical design. What no one says, that this lens doesn't have any anchor points to mount your strap or peak design anchors, which are very popular among photographers. I personally have this strap. So I use this wide strap primarily because it is very wide and it is very convenient to put it on the shoulder or behind you, not around your neck. Basically, this is the worst one. But the lens itself is not super heavy, so it is safe to carry it by holding the camera. But it won't be any way properly balanced attaching the strap to the camera and having the lens dangling around, because it will twist the camera in such a way that it won't be comfortable carrying. So I was expecting to be able to hook some anchors near the foot maybe, or the most optimal way would be have 2 attaching points on the lens itself. I could carry it like this, and even without the camera, if I need to change the lens to something wide angle or so. But basically it is not possible in the stock layout. Regarding the foot, there are replacement feet provided by third parties. The cheapest one on Amazon was around $40 euros, but this was like copy of the Chinese copy. From the more respectable brands, it's around $70 to $100. But I won't be buying the replacement foot, although it has some improvements in terms of having one attachment point for those Peak Design anchors or other straps. But running with the Arca Swiss plate, because the original foot doesn't have any dovetail mount, and experiencing with the plate having one only screw to fix it, it always twists out under its weight when you're carrying like this on the monopod. So I will be buying for like around 10, 12 euros or dollars a bit longer plate with the 2 screws. Similar design, which can be screwed or unscrewed without any coins or instruments because it has this handle, but it will have 2 screws. And when the plate will be mounted with the 2 screws, it won't self-mount because all the twisting forces will be cancelled due to the 2 points of attachment. Yes. And of course, the plate itself will have these stop screws. So if the Arca Swiss mount gets loose, the lens will start to slide off, but won't fall off because this will stop them. So you need to screw a lot to dismount it. That's what is not so good and was unexpected for me. Okay, because I thought like all big lenses should have the mounting points. Another thing is the cap. It is standard Nikon cap for all Z lenses, the same as on my 24 to 70 f4, 50 1.8. So the cap is secure, but in some situations you think that you have attached it and it falls off. So just you need to have to double check if it is properly attached. But just double checking is enough, because if it is properly attached, it is very secure. Initially I thought like I could buy the protection filter for this lens. It's 95 millimeters in diameter, so a high quality protection filter from respectable brands such as B+W or Hoyer or Nisi would cost around $150 or euros plus minus 20. But I usually cover all my lenses with filters and carry them without the cap in the backpack, because it is easier for me to remove the dirt from the filter and not be afraid of scratches from the branches or from accidental sand or something like appearing on the lens. At this moment I do not plan to cover it with the filter, because the hood itself is deep enough to protect the lens from any elements like rain or splashes that could be incoming. And if there are anything you need to clean off the lens, I will be extra cautious to clean it, because it won't be getting as dirty as fast as all those lenses, because I am carrying them always without the cap. So having the cap attached and the deep hood when you're not having cap attached is enough protection from all the dirt to not justify buying the filter. So I think like comparing a filter for $150 euros to 2x TC, which costs only 600, that like 1/4 of the cost for one piece of glass, that is not reasonable investment for me. I don't find a lot of value. Maybe in some future cases when, for example, I know that I am going to be shooting near the seaside where there's a lot of breeze with sea water coming with a strong wind or the sand. If those scenarios will occur, maybe I will think about purchasing some protective filter. But in my scenarios, when I'm walking around the forests and rivers, I don't see any weather conditions which would require another protection for this lens. And last thing, maybe last from the not last from the initial impressions, which is good. Only two switches. So when you see this part of the lens on the f-mount lenses or on the Canon EOS lenses or so, there are like tons of switches for everything, for VR, from I don't know for anything else, but like there are 5, 6, 4 switches. These are only two. The autofocus A and manual focus M, and the distance limiter. So either full, but full is not very wide because it focuses only up to 2.5 meters, the closest from the camera to the object, or 6 to infinity. So basically, when you know that nothing would be coming close, like in sports, or if you're photographing large birds, they won't be coming very close. So closer than 6 meters, it could be only accidentally small birds when you're walking in the forest, landing near you on the bush or on the branches. So basically all the time I will have this limiter turned on to reduce the length of the focus, so it would focus faster. And why it is good? Because I can program the optical stabilization or vibration reduction, or what is called inside the camera, in different modes. So for example, when I have the mode with high shutter speed, like 1/4000th of a second or 1/2000th of a second, I don't need the VR because it is useless and only drains the battery. Yes, the image inside the viewfinder is more stable, but it drains the battery. And I know opinion that if you are shooting like faster than 1/500th of a second, VR even can sometimes not ruin, but make the image worse when it is not kicked properly in. So inside the camera I can customize one shooting menu, one shooting setting for the fast shutter, and another when I have aperture priority with a slow shutter. The VR is on and I don't need to worry what is turned on or off on the switches. It will be used in the camera, and I just need to change the shooting mode for different type of scenarios, and everything is properly customized and set. So no need to worry about those things on the lens. Regarding the function buttons, I don't have any experience with them. So about the function buttons, I will talk in my in-depth review after some weeks or even months of using this lens. Because I just need to figure out how to use them in my typical usage scenarios. And this ring, the function ring, I don't know, maybe I will program it for shutter speed or the focus mode. I'm not sure. I think like I often switch from the autofocus with the whole frame covered to this pinpoint, because different situations, different background requires different modes. So maybe I will stick to the focus mode for this ring. And I tried to show it in the initial unboxing, but it was not very obvious. The focus ring is very smooth, good depth, but the function ring is very tight, so that you do not accidentally switch through a lot of functions in one turn. And this is the grip ring, it doesn't turn, it's just for the gripping. About the carrying the lens, what I found out that when you're moving around, it is best to have the foot on the bottom, so you carry like with the camera attached in the upside down, and when you need to shoot, you just grab from the bottom with your left hand, grab with your right hand here, and you have basically already proper shooting stance. I tried to carrying it with this attachment on the top, but somehow it was not very intuitive for me to grab like here, but it looks like easy, but my hands didn't do it. So some stuff needs to be figured out. And as I mentioned, after having it for several days in the field, it definitely feels light. So for its intended weight, I don't know why my first impression was that it was very heavy. I don't know. So this is the conclusion, and the thing I wanted to tell you that I didn't hear or read in any reviews. After attaching this lens and spending it some time with it, I noticed that my camera's battery is draining super fast. And when I had a football game for shooting, I took some measly like 300 or so pictures in 1.5 hours, and it was less than 20% left. And when I had a walk in the forest near the river, the shutter counter in the battery menu of the camera said that it has only 80 pictures taking, 80 actuations, and the battery was like minus 18%, so only 82% left. This is nonsense. Like, usually I could run with my typical mixed scenario of usage, taking pictures and taking video clips. Not 1,000, of course, but 700, 800, 600, maybe 1,000 pictures with some videos on the one charge. I never depleted the battery in one day, except for the time I was visiting some city, and I always had a lot of filming video in 4K. So with my usual mixed consumption, mixed photography style with pictures and video, I never ran out of battery in one day. And it was very puzzling for me in those football games, like in 1.5 hours of not intensive shooting, like 300 or 400 pictures, 80% of the battery depleted, and it is like almost new in terms of this counter in the battery menu. I don't know, I will need to further investigate it. Maybe I will run some comparison, taking some videos with another lens and this, to have some measurable things to show you in the in-depth review. But this one thing, I need to be on the lookout and to take care to notice if it was just a coincidence or it is somehow draining the juice of my camera much noticeably more than other lenses. But I don't understand how it is possible. Like, I don't know. And by the way, in those two scenarios, almost all the shooting was done in the high speed shutter mode, so the VR was turned off. So it was extra battery saving. I don't know. So anyways, thank you for watching this very long first impressions and unboxing video. I hope that you found it helpful and informative. If you have any more questions regarding this lens or any other Nikon Z gear, please leave them below in the comment section, and I would very appreciate if you help this channel grow by subscribing to my channel and liking this video. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye bye.